Hello, everybody. Welcome to SpeedGaming 3, where we are about to embark on a Dragon Warrior Randomizer Standard Flags multi-way race here on the first week of June 2021. So we're sort of in the middle of our regular season here, getting ready for tournament time, maybe in the late summer. And so everybody's gearing up, getting into as many races as they can. Featured today, we have Smashy and Osmati Games, Stags 28, Lord of Dungeons 32, and I'm joined today by Mr. Holmes. What's going on?
Hello, friends. I'm doing great and slightly hungry. How are you?
I just ate, so I don't
Smart.
have a problem.
So, all right, are we all good to get started here? I can give the runners their countdown.
Let them sweat it out. No, I guess if the runners are ready, we'll do it. Let's go.
All right, so should be starting in approximately 30 seconds, so let's get ready to go.
Very nice. We got a couple of big Z's on the menu for strength HP builds. Smashy with the lowercase x, and Lord of Dungeons capital K, and then AIN. I think maybe our tracker will fill us in on what build that might be. But assuming we have strength HP all around, we'll see if the contents of the treasure chests and the throne room will help them get started in any way. And they also will want to check their spells right off the bat and see what sort of stats they're working with. And from there, there's plenty of ways that the seed can get started. We'll just have to wait and see.
All right, well, we should be starting any second now.
Thanks to our tracker, Kamion Renakai. Sorry I put you on the spot. But, yeah, I'm going to assume strength HP until we see something else happening with stats or whatever. Let's see what's in the throne room. Mr. Holmes, what do we have?
Well, there's a king and there's a character. There's probably a couple guards. Maybe... Oh, there's only 2 guards. Wonder what they did with the third one. Now we got our casual early game of 2 herbs and a key.
Yeah, no magic, so no starting spells, and they have 10 strength. Yeah, 2 herbs is really probably the worst start you can have. There is a town nearby, but I don't think anything can be done here. You could sell your 2 herbs potentially for, you know, a few torches. I'm not sure if anyone's going to think to do that. With 10 power, I guess it's not the end of the world. You, like Smashy here, already found a red slime, and they are damaging it with 10 power. So it's not a total emergency to get started here. Let's see if we can take down the Drakey with 10 power. Oh, it has hurt. Herb strat's coming. Oh boy.
You know when you have to use an herb fighting a Draki that things aren't going so well.
Yeah, we got some weak heroes here. And heroes sporting all sorts of different sprites, I would say. It's one of the fun features of the randomizer. You guys should all check it out. Scorpions look like they're breathing fire. Ghost, I'm not sure what's happening with the Ghost. Looks like Lord of Dungeons successful there. Osmati Games is also going to attempt the Ghost. But let's see. Smashy did get level 2 already. Anything of note there?
Other than 1 to 2, I did not see.
So
We'll
I like
find
the
out.
play of hopping in to grab a quick torch so that you could throw it at, like, you know, the scorpion that pops up or whatever. So he took what little earnings he got from a red slime and a Drakey. I guess it was enough to buy a torch. I kind of, in my mind, I was thinking that somebody might think to sell their herbs and get like 3 torches, but
That would be
that
nice.
didn't happen.
It would be kind of annoying because the scorpion actually has baby fire breath, so it'd be suck to throw a torch and then have it just kill you and waste all of your time.
Yeah, all your hard-earned money. So Staff of Rain Cave is nearby. There's another cave as well. The Magician here, Stag's 28 in kind of an epic battle with the Magician. That's 8 points, so that's level 2 for Stags. Smash is halfway to level 3, trying to take down the Ghost, slowly but surely. I'm thinking that they didn't get hardly any power, because he's doing 1 or 2, sometimes 3 damage to a Ghost. 1 point away now from the level. He is going to use the torch now on the Ghost, which is almost guaranteed to take it down. So here we are, level 3 for Smashy.
Yeah, and level 2 ended up being 1199. So we see level 3 has 7, 13, 1, and 9. And some spells that start with an R that we probably won't be using for a while.
Yeah, I guess if you really wanted to do some early grinding, you can repel maybe the red slime right now. And just, you know, if you want to see the Magician more often and the, you know, whatever like that. But, yeah, not the greatest spells right now. He is probably going to get to level 4 pretty quickly. You're going to check out the 2 caves that we saw from Asmati. He's actually in a dark place right now. He's going to use the torch, so we have Tablet Cave. 1 free chest down here could be something really good.
Yeah, even gold would be great.
Yeah, I agree with that. There was a hand axe in the top shop in Cantlin, so usually gold would be enough to buy the hand axe straight away if you can get over there without dying.
Yeah, it'd be funny. There's been a time where I got there was a hand axe and I got a low gold chest roll and it was like 520 gold. So I had to die of the Tablet Cave twice, but unless they want to get 4 cursed belts, they're probably out of luck on that one.
It was a cursed belt.
That it was.
All right. Well, we didn't check the second shop. At least I didn't notice anybody checking it. There could be a copper sword, which would work out well if you sell your cursed belt. But yeah, other than that, just not much happening. It's probably a minute lost going in and out of the Tablet Cave with no outside spell. And they're still trying to figure out how to proceed. Lord of Dungeons is embarking on some big exploration. There's a town up here in the desert. I'm not sure what he's going to do with it yet. He's got no gold to work with, not much happening. Could be the town of Cole with a free search spot.
I mean, we got to check this metal slime on Smashy's screen, right? He missed it 3 times, so he did the old command strats and it hit, so Manip's guaranteed.
Okay. Well, this could be a pretty big boost if he hits it 1 more time. But no. That is actually pretty close to home. That's the zone just right near those caves, which is northwest of Start. Lord of Dungeons found the town of Hawksness, by the way. So, not really helpful on his end. Looks like Stags is trying to make his way through the Tablet Cave, and we do have Asmati Games, I think, selling his cursed belt and buying some stuff here.
I mean, actually, fairy water would be pretty good. You could probably get close to 4 of them.
Yeah. That's he read your mind there. So a couple of torches and maybe a few fairy waters, and there were Drakemas nearby. All of a sudden, you could pick up maybe level 5 in a hurry if you stock up on this stuff. So yeah, not a bad plan.
Yeah, Drakemas and Metal Scorpions are like the 2 sweet spot enemies for fairy waters because you have the potential of sometimes even one-shotting them. So for the 20 or 31 experience is pretty powerful in the early game. So I like the play.
Smashy also selling the dragon scale that he had. So he has a completely empty inventory, and he's going to take his first look at the shops with 222 gold. So there was a leather armor that he could potentially afford there, but I think he's going to want to maybe check the other shops, or is he going to go fairy water? Yeah, check the other shop. Maybe if there's a copper sword, that would be pretty helpful. Otherwise, fairy water it is. I like that plan. There is a copper sword.
Easy.
So equipment advantage to Smashy, and now because there was a 7 power boost right on level 3, so he actually could fight a Drakema at this point, assuming it didn't have any abilities.
Yeah, and the copper sword itself is pretty significant. It's only 180 gold, but that's 10 attack power right there. And if they started at 10 strength, then they got 1, then they got 7, and that puts them at 28 attack power.
And that may have been the first time he had seen the Scorpion's fire breath, so unfortunate for him. Down he goes. I think he's 1 point away from a level, which always annoys me when this happens, because you don't get the benefit of whatever MP that you would have gotten. You know, you have your old stats from your old level, even though you're going to get the next level in 1 more point. But Can't do much about it. He didn't know what the Scorpion had. But here we go, level 4 for Smashy. Let's see if we get something significant here.
Lots of magic.
So yeah, there's that MP. I guess he picked up the Heal More spell as well, but like I said, he's going to have to go to an inn or something actually to get the MP that he would have had if he had just picked up the level before death. But yeah, it's just the way it goes. Joel's sporting the Heal More spell, so he just nopes out of that battle. Asmati Games has kind of made a jaunt out to yet another cave, this one in a swamp somewhere. Another dark place. Swamp North.
Yeah, and here fighting that metal scorpion, even with the copper sword, only doing 3 damage. That's where you would love to have those fairy waters. So almost, like, I mean, it's hindsight, but I would have almost preferred getting fairy water. It's just interesting. There's all these marginal decisions you can make in a race, and it's really cool to like database these. See, there's no pressure because we're not racing. We can just say, "Oh,
of course,
this is what
and
we
once
should have
you
done."
commit to something, that's kind of it, you know. So it's a little bit tricky in the beginning a lot of times. Yeah, the one of the most recent versions of the randomizer has added that ability where you can throw torches and throw fairy waters at enemies to do pretty significant damage in the early game, and that actually has changed a lot of the ways that you can get started in the seed. There's a lot fewer times now where you're completely stuck and just, you know, taking a half an hour to get to like level 2 or 3. That just hardly ever happens anymore.
Right. And unfortunately, it doesn't work like Dragon Warrior 4 Fairy Water, where it will do, well, a critical hit to a metal slime does a lot of damage. So Asmati Games finally cashed in. Sorry to get distracted here, but that's pretty important. I was waiting to see when someone would finally beat one.
Yeah, since, I mean, he is actually farming that region there. It's right next to the 2 caves. So yeah, it's not far from home at all. Yeah, so yeah, I think he's actually looking for another one here. And probably not quite leaving... Oh, there it is there. Okay, so it's mixed in with some weak monsters, actually.
Yeah, to finish my previous thought, in Dragon Warrior 4 in the Famicom, Fairy Waters actually can one-shot a metal slime. Kind of like that excellent move, again. So... unfortunately, they don't do this in the randomizer. They only do like a regular attack.
Yeah, and okay, one of those levels yielded Hurt More, so Asmati Games now has just a gigantic lead. If it turns out that you need level 7 exactly for Hurt More, could be quite a while for the other runners to catch up to that level because they're not gaining stats very quickly. And you see Smashy now doing some exploration now on level 5. So yeah, it could take a while here. Meanwhile, Asmati Games has the ability now to damage very strong monsters with the Hurt More spell. And he is off and running. Here's a town on his screen, and that's Garenham. Now, one thing they don't have yet is keys. But, yeah, off and running here.
Yeah, and with the 43 MP that Asmati gained on his multitude of levels from like 4, 5, 6, you can just start ripping Hurtmores. You could even beat an armored knight if he didn't smack you in the face first. You'll love to see it.
Leather armor picked up in the shop in Garenham. There's a flame sword available for later, particularly if the spike tile enemies are not susceptible to hurt more. You might want to have a good weapon, so flame sword there. There's also a large shield in that town, which is usually a good thing to make note of as well. If there's not a gold grind available, a lot of times you're going to want to pick up a large shield, so good information for Asmati. And here comes the Hurtmores. I assume, maybe he doesn't realize, there it is. Yeah, so Hurtmore on the Rogue Scorpion, a perfect enemy to use it on, and 70 quick experience.
Yep, level 8, just like that. You always know when your level is close to the number of minutes you've been racing that you're off to a quick start. So level 8 at 12 minutes is delicious.
I agree. And not totally sure what's happened with Lord of Dungeons, but Stags and Smashy have both kind of meandered their way through those early levels, both at level 5 now, and both of them seem to think that that's the time to start exploring the map. Perhaps, with that Heal More spell gives you a little bit more confidence that you can, get a little further out onto the map before running out of resources. So, which dark place is this for Smashy? Did he find the Swamp Cave as well?
We may never know.
Wah wah. Star Wyvern sends him home.
Simul deaths to Star Wyverns.
Yeah, and that's one of those enemies where sometimes if I die in an early exploration, I'm going to want to quickly double check my agility, which is exactly what he did there. I didn't actually catch what it was, but maybe it was in the 30s.
Surprisingly, that's not too terrible for running from a Star Wyvern. You're probably looking at probably 35% on my back of the Rubik's Cube calculations in front of me.
Yeah, and he ended up failing twice, so getting the wrong end of the randomness there. Looks like he is content now to just look for the secondary zone. Metal Scorpions are pretty valuable here. Since he has the Heal More spell, it seems to be no danger. He's going to just punch his way through for 31 quick experience, and this is level 6 for Smashy. We'll see if level 6 had to hurt more, or if he actually has to get to 7. No, he has to get level 7 now for hurt more. And so the question is, will he just continue to grind this zone? And unfortunately for him, no, he is going to explore some more of the map, and that could slow him down, as it turns out. There's no way for him to know, of course, and it's kind of the age-old question, right? Do you stick around doing some early grinding for an extra level or two, or is it time to go explore the map? And of course, if you knew that Hurtmore was right around the corner, of course you would want one more level. But on the other hand, if the next level is a dud, then, maybe getting 10 minutes of exploration done is, a lot better in the long run, so it's tough to say.
Yeah, it's always interesting. The way I look at it is usually a grind at the end of the game, you're gaining probably like 400 to 500 experience a minute. So you may see someone, they're 1500 experience behind, but then all of a sudden they finish their exploration, they settle into an Axe Knight grind, and 10 minutes later they're up by 1500 experience. So it's like, it's always the interesting interplay of those two things.
Yeah, exactly. And so when it comes to the early grind, for me, it has more to do with, is the time investment here actually going to make it faster to actually collect the items, right? Because once you, like you said, once you get into grind and go, that's where you're going to be getting your experience. But does somehow getting some early levels, is that going to allow you to, traverse the entire map and collect all the items in 30 minutes, where it would have taken an hour because you were just dying over and over and over and you didn't have the stats,
Right, and that's kind of a case-by-case basis. Like, it's what's your agility? What's the map looking like? Are there red dragons?
Yep, exactly. And it's probably to me one of the most interesting things about the race, is because, like you said, the overworld map is, it's a brand new map every time you roll a seed, and the way the monsters are mixed around through all the zones is different every time, and there's not a great way to know what you're up against until you do poke out and explore a little bit. And so, yeah, sometimes you'll see runners, you'll go out on an adventure early and make it, a few screens over, and it becomes clear that the monsters are too tough, and then they go, okay, well, maybe I'll get a couple levels now that I know more information.
Yeah, and sometimes you sneak into Cole and get Erdrick's sword or Erdrick's armor, and it's like, yeah, well, clearly that was the right decision.
Yes, of course it was. Yep, so...
Speaking of right decisions that didn't quite pay off, Asmati was taking on a Blue Dragon in Hawksness and only landed 1 out of 4 of the 56% chance Hurtmores, so wouldn't be surprised if they go right back there.
Yep. Deciding on an inn with, he had 75 MP to work with, so, but, just topping it off, and maybe he's going to double check the shop up here. Not sure if he has the money, though, for anything, so no, just a refill. He was exploring, found this town in his travels, and moving on. And yeah, you can see with those 2 Metal Slime victories early that his lead is actually expanded, because the Hurtmore just, you know, has enabled it to grow while everybody else is just trying to get to level 7. So he has over 1,000 experience now. The next closest would be Smashy in the high 200s. He is around 50 or 60 points away from getting the Hurt More spell. And then there'll be some catching up to do.
Alrighty.
Stag's seeing, I think he had already seen before that the Scorpion had Fire Breath. Maybe just was hoping that it wouldn't do it that time. You know, it's never 100%. So tried to sneak an attack in there and got wrecked by the Scorpion.
Looks like we have a couple people here with some internet problems, so I'm not sure if Stags is really going to call it quits, but network troubles are abound, and I can definitely feel that pain recently.
Yep, it happens, but what's nice is that we have four-way racing on these weeklies, which is great, because, you know, if it was like a head-to-head race and they both just conked out, then it would be a little bit tough to continue the show. But we have two other fine runners to watch for a little while they get themselves situated. And yeah, I think at this point in the race now, the main question is who is going to get keys. We haven't seen Rimeldar, we haven't seen a stray key yet that I know of, and that can open up, you know, to a lot of really useful locations that are currently locked to our runners. That somewhat will just have to do with exploration luck. If Smashy is going a different way on the map than Asmati Games, then maybe it'll work out. But it looks like the map might be a little bit one way, right? I see him just kind of following this. I think it's the same path. And Asmati, I think, has found a grind zone here. He's just camping out next to the town to deplete his MP on these Star Wyvern, among other things. And then I assume that he'll just pop back into, I think that's Breckenary there, and just refill and, you know, decide if he wants to move on from there. But he picks up level 10, I believe that is, in his travels with a nice HP gain. Maybe that's what he was looking for. Also grinded up a little bit of money while he was doing that, so could potentially be buying a large shield in the near future. But right now he's just exiting town. Just gonna roll with the leather armor, and that's about it.
So we are working on trying to get some other people to fill in the gaps here, so just enjoy the two runners we have now, and maybe we'll get back to the good old four.
Yeah, Asmati looks like he was content with whatever that level up was. He has left the nest of that town there and continues to find Star Wyvern in his travels. Going pretty much with double hurt more strats on Star Wyvern, figuring that maybe he's just not doing any damage. He doesn't have a weapon. So
yeah, he tried one hit and did 4 and was like, yeah, you know.
Yeah, and they have plenty of MP. Another metal slime on his screen too, which is the monster that's the MVP right now for Asmati Games, and this one's sticking around as well.
Yeah, I've seen them in a few zones now, so I wouldn't be surprised if others, because this is a pretty big race, I wouldn't be surprised if others have poked 1 or 2 as well.
Alright, I don't know if this is the cave that we've seen before, but Green Dragon is also a nice hurt more target, so...
I can tell you it's not the Tablet Cave.
Yes, Tablet Caves don't have any enemies, of course, so Green Dragon would negate that possibility. So it could be, we have seen Swamp Cave already, and then, of course, they are going to be looking pretty soon for the Mountain Cave or the Grave, which has some treasure chests. You'd be looking for things like stray keys, or perhaps Erdrick's Sword, Erdrick's Armor, quest items.
Keys have to be the big thing, because they know where Garenham is. So getting keys would give them the access to the 4 chests at home, the 3 chests in Garenham, and the 2 caves. So if that's the Grave and the Mountain Cave, keys could potentially give access to 17 chests. It's funny.
Yeah, and the town of Cantlin was right next to start as well. You could use the keys to find coordinates for another potentially important search spot. So yeah, usually that's a pretty big deal when one runner finds keys, especially if it's a little bit difficult to find keys and, you know, somebody finds them way before everybody else. But right now, I think the early Hurtmore advantage for Asmati Games has, you know, continues to be a pretty good advantage, maybe 7 or 8 minute lead. Smashy, of course, has Hurtmore now that he's reached level 7. And so I expect the, you know, this 13 or 1400 point lead to kind of maintain for a while until, you know, something significant happens.
Yeah, we'll just have to see what our other runners are doing. We've got Nescard here with 1300 experience. Just trying to see. Yeah, it's one level below Asmati. So
Nescard probably has keys.
I would imagine so. Yes, that's going to be very helpful. And Erdrick's sword is also lit up there too, so I didn't catch where that was received, but sure was.
Fighter's Ring for Asmati Games. Fairy Water, I didn't catch what the first one was, but he's thinking about casting outside, but decides to walk out instead. I'm not sure what happened there. That's why I was wondering if he actually found a key and was thinking about going into the basement, but...
No, I didn't see any keys in the inventory.
I'll decide to save the 6 MP, doesn't cast outside, just walked out. Sees the gold man straight away, doesn't seem to have much interest in accumulating more gold. He's gonna just look for more towns and caves. Smashy back into Garnham if he hadn't been there already, I'm not sure. Still the same situation for him, Copper Sword, Leather Armor, and, you know, now he's got the Hurtmore spell, but no keys, unable to take advantage of the backside of Garnham. Gets almost wrecked by a golem there, so has to heal up after battle. But our runners are in pretty good shape with, you know, survivability right now. They have pretty good HP growth, plenty of MP. Asmati Games now has found...
Perfect, that's awesome. So that will probably give access to the sword quickly, I would imagine. I'll just have to keep an eye out to see where exactly that was found.
And Nescardinality in a dark place has triggered a gold grind. So there must be either I guess it must be Mountain Cave in the basement of Tentacle. So there wasn't gold immediately in the treasury, but yeah, he is grinding now. And I know that Cantlin is right near home, but I don't remember if we've seen anything big in the shops. Of course, there's a third shop behind a locked door. So I don't know if he's already seen a silver shield, for example, or if he's just kind of hoping that there's one.
Yeah, I mean,
he's grinding a lot of money here.
Whenever you see Cantlin, you kind of just, oh, I'm going to assume everything's there, which is obviously not the case, but it's not a bad assumption to make.
Oh, actually, Magic Armor and Silver Shield are both in Rimmildar. So if he wanted to walk all the way back to wherever that was, I guess that's also possible.
And that makes sense because 23,000, that's enough pretty much for Silver Shield Magic Armor. With Erdrick's Sword, I guess there's no reason to grind any higher.
I didn't catch what Asmati pulled out of the one chest that's in Rimmildar. I assume he checked it, but...
Not the sword.
Yeah. Pulled a hand axe out of there, perhaps. And Smashy's going to check and see that it is the Blue Dragon, which, as you said, it is defeatable with the Hurtmore spell, but he's going to have to do some shenanigans here because he got ambushed. And potentially, like, to me, I oftentimes just try and run away here and reset the fight because you're kind of behind the 8-ball. But he gets a low roll from the Blue Dragon and attempts a Hurtmore. So yeah, 2 Hurtmores will be enough, but each one is around 50-50 to land, so see if he's able to do it.
When you have this much magic, I don't have any issue with giving it a go.
Yeah, he's really looking for a low roll so that he doesn't get 2-shot by the Blue Dragon, and now he's going to just probably try 3 more times.
Oh, 2 more.
Yeah, well, yeah, because he's probably... Okay, well, he manages it with low resources, and survey says, well, first we're going to get a level up.
I wonder if this is where the sword is. 9.
The ever-useful fairy flute that is not marked off for anyone else yet, so... we have the Urgix armor marked off for Nest Cardinality along with the silver shield. So I missed if he had just found the Urgix armor somewhere, and it looks like he did because he's walking across those barrier tiles with no problems. There's a pretty lengthy walk to whatever the item is on the overworld. We have seen the Swamp Cave, not sure if we've seen anyone check the spike tile for the Guardian of the Princess.
Yeah, we're really starting to see everything when you got 3 runners exploring the world. So we've got Cole, that is the silver harp. So it seems that both the sword and the armor...
Is finding all the things that are not the sword and the armor, which is a little frustrating.
I mean, when you have Hurtmore, it's not quite as bad, but still, obviously, you want those things.
Just
again,
double
survey
checking the
says...
shops.
Alright, so the guard is hiding the death necklace. And the gold and a key and something in the middle. There's the sword. GG.
Had to be there somewhere. And yeah, so there was no gold, right, in that section? Or was it, oh, you said there was
There was
gold.
one gold chest, yes.
Oh, okay. But I think it's also possible to just get it down here, so that perhaps might work out well for Asmati Games as well, and be interested to see if he does do a gold grind.
Yeah, I didn't catch if he popped in the throne room, because I feel like he returned home, so that may or may not make the gold grind workable. So the lack of MP suggests that he walked in the castle. So if he death warped, he'd be at full. Anyway, let's watch, shall we?
Yeah, now Asmati does have a bit of an experience lead over Nest Cardinality. So my theory is that Nest Cardinality probably has not gotten the Metal Slime victory, but that is just an assumption. You never know.
Well, there are all these little things, like, really, the gap is not that big. It's only 700 now. And Nescard's already done his gold grind. And it's going to be interesting to see.
One thing is really amazing about Nest Cardinality is very fast with exploration. So he has already gotten keys. He's already gotten the sword and the armor. You know, now he's in Hawk's Nest. He's about to get a quest item. So it's just... It's often the case that he gets himself into grind and go mode just faster than everyone else. And like you said before, even if you have a experience deficit, you can make it up pretty quickly when you're doing a dedicated grind at the end.
Right. Although Blue Dragon, not exactly the best choice. I mean, it is what it is, but I definitely, if I still had things to find, I wouldn't be sitting here fighting this Blue Dragon over and over.
Yeah, I expect him to just get it the one time to search the spot here, pick up the, I believe it was the flute, right? So
yeah,
he'll be a little disappointed.
Harps in Cole.
Yeah, we don't know what the overworld item is yet, but it's pretty far from home.
I think it has to be the stones because we have seen the death necklace and...
Oh, where was that?
Token as well. Right.
Oh, gotcha, okay. The necklace was in the
treasury
cave, or it was also in the treasury with the sword. Yeah. Okay.
So it was treasury, sword, gold, and question mark.
So here's that large shield pickup that I thought Asmati Games would end up doing. He ended up not doing any sort of gold grind, so he'll save, you know, perhaps a couple of minutes that Nescard took to grind up all that gold. He'll probably finish the game with the large shield, I imagine. He has already got Urgix armor, so a lot of times in that situation, you're half an hour in, your stats are good, you have hurt more. You're not going back for the silver shield at this point. You have sword, armor, large shield.
Yeah, and I'll try and keep an eye out to see what exactly their stats are looking like. Because with the sword and with Hurt More, it's kind of tough to gauge, but I'll try and crunch some numbers and see if I can figure it out.
Yeah, because of course, one advantage of the Silver Shield, of course, is that you can repel some Sharlock monsters potentially and make that dive quite a bit faster at the end.
Exactly. But I do know they have 112 HP and 100 MP, and 55 strength and 75 agility.
Yeah, just saw that. Very good. Good eyes. Good eyes. So the strength score is lagging a little bit. They'll be grinding for that particular stat at the end of the game. Agility is already pretty decent. So with full gear that Nest card has, you're looking at
88.
80. Yeah. Okay. So already repelling
Green dragons.
Star Wyvern, that sort of thing.
Yeah, so I mean, you'd have to imagine once that they'll probably get at least 10 more agility by the end of the game. I mean, knock on wood. But that would mean they would have the potential to defense break everything up to Axe Knights in Sharlock. Sometimes you can even get up to Green Dragons. Or sorry, Blue Dragons. That is the color that I was talking about.
Yeah, they would need about 90 agility or so to be able to repel Axe Knights, right? Because agility gets cut in half for defense power, and they're going to have another 50.
Yeah,
assuming he donned a dragon scale, which our tracker says that he did. And Silver Harp for Nest card, so all he's looking for now is the token, correct? Well, no, he hasn't found the stones either. The token, yes. So one of those pretty much has to be on the overworld, so it'd be interesting if Nest card tries a very difficult count, or if he's going to head over to Swamp Cave, which we have seen relatively early in the seed, to try and rescue the princess.
It looks like the first continent is not gigantic, so it may be a princess rescue type of dealie, but I'll try and, I don't know, pretend like I'm visualizing the map in my brain, which I clearly can't do.
It's very hard to do when you're following multiple runners, in my opinion. I've never been able to figure it out. I can barely keep the map straight when I'm in the race. It's not one of my strengths.
I just run around drunk till I find everything.
Yep. Speaking of which, what have we not seen as far as locations here? I want to say we've seen all the towns between all the different runners. I don't know if any of them have been behind Garenham yet. Did Nest card go there yet?
I'm just trying to think. I'm not sure if I've seen the Jerk Cave, and I'm not sure if I've seen the bottom of the grave yet. I mean, obviously you've seen the Grave Cave, but I don't know if anyone's gone to the bottom.
Stones of Sunlight Cave is still out there, I think. Unless I've missed that. They did clear Tablet Cave already. So yeah, not much left to find. We see Sharlock there on Asmati Games' screen. The final destination. So yeah,
right.
Not too much exploration left to do for our runners. Each of them may have information that the other doesn't at this point, but Asmati, is this his first trip into Cole? It looks to be the case, yeah, so he'll head over to the search spot, grab the harp. That's one less place that he has to find on the overworld map. Nest card's in a giant swamp here, wow.
Right, so it seems to me that the stones or the token is on the map, and then the other one is in the bottom of the grave. Or I guess it could be the Stones Cave, like you mentioned, but I think that's all that's outstanding.
Okay. Well, so the back of Garenham, the 3 chests there, does anybody open those chests?
I would
one of the
imagine
caves has
so.
to be back there, right? So that maybe has to be the Stones Cave in the back of... Or you said the Jerk hasn't been found either, so it could be there. The Staff of Rain Trading Cave was pretty close to home, if I recall. I don't think any of them have actually done that yet. But they'll trade that in at any time that they take another death. They're close to home. Upgrade the harp for the staff. Because the final old man needs that staff. He doesn't care about your harp. have to upgrade it.
I mean, the guy's so much of a jerk, the silver harp does not even delight him.
Yeah.
Only
It
NPC
makes monsters delighted, right? Is that what it is? Is delighted.
Exactly.
And they still attack you.
Yeah, but they do it happily.
Right. Okay, we're about to see the back of Garanham here for Asmati. So we have some gold. And another key. Okay. And more gold. So you can go in and out of this town and get more gold if you really wanted to, because there's a replacement key there. But yeah, he's not going to do that. Let's see which of the two caves this is. It's the Stones Cave. Survey says.
Doctorate denied.
Man, so still 2 quest items. I think we're going to be diving Deep Grave, Mr. Holmes.
Sounds like fun on a bun. Sorry, I've been watching way too much Futurama lately.
Decent show, very nice. Yeah, even now, and even in the terms of, diving Deep Grave, I would say, like, Nest Cardinality is repelling more monsters, able to walk the map a little bit faster.
Yeah,
Maybe not a huge difference here, but
that's
something.
a pretty big deal. Like, he's pretty much step in step with Asmati.
And this card, of course, draws really good maps, so he just found he full cleared an area and just returns home, goes somewhere else. I think, okay, first we're going to trade in for the staff, good move there, and then was one of these is the other cave there, the swamp cave? Because it might be a time for a princess rescue. Another return cast, and nope, not going that direction, going a different way.
Yeah. Basically, at this point, you want to assume that wherever he's going is the right way to go.
Yeah, okay, this was... Nope, that's not the cave. Oh, he just hasn't been over here yet. He's walking in a way that he was exploring the coastline, so... Discovers Breckenary. I'm not sure which town he might be looking for, since he did enter the town as if, maybe there's a town that he hasn't been to that he needs. But, okay. I think we're about to see the spike tile enemy, and it's a stone man. So, choice between a stone man and a blue dragon at the end, Mr. Holmes.
I mean, I'd probably take a blue dragon every day. Not only is it worth more experience, it's also easier to kill. It has less health. And it's closer to everything.
Yeah, seems reasonable. Would you ever consider sleep strats on a stone man if you had to grind a stone man? Or you think it's just too slow?
Only if it were absolutely necessary. Usually that's a case where you have no hurt more. So you can't like efficiently kill stuff on the overworld. It's been done before. So even if they didn't have...
If you had no heal more, I suppose, yeah, and you were damage racing it. Alright, but we have a princess rescue here for Nest card, so no long and windy count for him. No, landmarking across continents and that sort of thing. Just gonna grab the GPS from the young lady here. Use that to hone in on the current location of the map and head towards... What was it, like 80-something one direction, 60-something another way?
Well, I know that the east-west was one away from 69. It was 68, so... That one I've got on lockdown.
Alright. So many steps away from home.
Yeah.
May even be, like you said, maybe you have to go right back to Swamp Cave now and actually go through to the other side. But right now he seems to just kind of be going northwest, and as if the map just goes far enough in that direction.
Yeah, it was 80-something north and 68 west.
Yeah.
Was the coordinates.
And perhaps he has not been to the backside of Garanham either, so I'm going to make a pit stop here and do it on the way. Very good routing from Nestcard, trying to do all these things kind of en route. Return home, trade in the staff, and then if you happen to see the Rainbow Drop Cave in your travels, you kind of want to have all the quest items on hand. So I'm going to check these 3 caves.
I'm curious about Asmati because he's just on the diamond floor of the grave, so he's going to get that last chest in there, which I'm guessing is going to be one of the Stoken, one half.
It kind of has to be, right, if the 4th chest was a dud. Which I didn't totally see, but there's the stones of sunlight. And he is loaded up on fairy waters already, probably thinking of endgame strats already. Cast outside, moving on. Smashy is currently in the grave as well. I think he just cleared top 3. Or potentially even, I thought he left a chest there for some reason.
I don't know, it could be to set up a gold grind, you never know. He's still rocking low tier gear. So I think he just missed the jackpots.
That means he doesn't have keys yet, right? So, oh wait, but he just opened the door here, so...
yeah,
something is amiss.
Maybe he found a key and then he's just... Who knows, right? Sometimes runners, when they get keys, they don't go back home immediately. They just keep exploring.
Yep. And, let's see, Asmati was just doing something that I thought was good, but now it slips my mind. What is he still looking for? He has got to find the token, which is going to be the overworld item, right? So he's going to have to also maybe go rescue the princess. I think he has already been to Callan to get the coordinates, or maybe that's what he just did just now. Yeah, wow. All right, Elmore St. James confirming. That was the thing that he did that seemed important. That's what it was. He got the coordinates, which will lead him to his last quest item. So seems to be a pretty decent race shaping up between Asmati and Nescardinality. Nescard we have marked off for the token now. So that was a pretty efficient overworld item pickup. So he is now looking for the stones. I guess he must be going into Deep Grave, right? And that will put Nescard into Grind and Go. Potentially a few minutes ahead of Asmati Games with a slight experience deficit.
Yeah, it's definitely a great race going on. But yeah, I think the X factor here is that silver shield. I'm curious if they get a big agility gain here.
Smashy does get to the bottom of the grave for those stones of sunlight, and he seems to be looking for a death warp now, and tries to use the fighter's ring against the Drakima. The Drakima does not oblige, it just runs away. So, unable to find a death warp out of the bottom of the grave, maybe he has to start walking upwards. Oh, but wait! The Drakima has the Dragon Lord Breath, so making this play more reasonable, and once again it runs away. Completely infuriating. My goodness.
Game is impossible.
Will this Drakima breathe fire? Or it too will run away? Enemies with very low strength compared to yours have a 25% chance every turn of running away.
Alright, we only need like 10 more hits from the Drakima for this death warp.
Oh boy.
9.
Okay. He's using the heck out of that fighter's ring. It is...
Oh, the harp!
Okay.
You gotta mix it up.
Harp strats, keep them delighted.
RNG manipulation.
Now, if that somehow prevented it from running away, that would be an interesting situation, but it did not. It still ran away, despite the fact that it just heard a nice song from the harp.
I mean, at some point
he doesn't have Erdrick's armor right now, so he's not heal walking. He's just taking damage slowly but surely here.
Right, I was going to say, at some point you got to go to a different floor, but this will get the job done.
Alright, staff upgrade for Asmati Games en route to tracking down the overworld item, so he now has the staff and the token. Or, I'm sorry, the staff and the stones.
And the GPS.
Heading towards the token with GPS in hand, yeah. So, still close between those two. I think Nescard is probably en route to the Jerk Cave now, or maybe he's still searching for it. Or it's already marked off that it's in his inventory and he's on his way to Hawk's Nest to fight some blue dragons. That could be. And Smashy triggers the gold grind the old-fashioned way, just straight out of the treasury. Assuming that he's already seen all the good stuff, including there was a flame sword, except one of these chests right here is going to give him the big sword. So there it is. And another big sword.
Dual wielding Erdrick sword. Just, it's go time.
It's good. It's go time already. Death necklace hype. And the HP is already in triple digits, but probably not yet enough to consider using the death necklace, even on level 13 where Asmati is, but I'm not 100%. Oh, no, wait. He is in the 130s. So we have death necklace strats on the table now.
How legit would it be if there was a Falcon sword in this game? Program it in, but it's only like 10 attack power.
Yeah,
so it's 30 less than
your
the sword.
Power. Right. That would be interesting. Note to McGrew, right?
Always.
That we could make the cursed belts something like that. So you're also cursed, but you get Falcon sword. I don't know.
I mean, if you can put Super Metroid items into Link to the Past, you can put a Falcon sword in this game. It has to be possible.
Meanwhile, Red Dragon, I think this is the first one, at least I've noticed, doesn't seem to have any abilities, so easily beatable here. Asmati Games going to chip away for a 255 on the overworld, maintaining a slim lead, but Nest Cardinality is about to be on the dedicated grind, so every other step now he's going to be encountering a blue dragon, which means
the token
180 points.
It's neck and neck.
Yeah, he's got to get himself over to the Rainbow Drop Cave and into a dedicated grind really quickly. But it looks to be that Nest Cardinality is just a little bit in the lead here, for all intents and purposes. Asmati is actually looking for these red dragons as a bit of a grind on the overworld. Not really sure I'm loving that play.
I don't think that's quite as efficient.
Yeah, maybe he's just trying to do this until he runs out of MP, and then he'll walk in a different direction or something.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah. Because it is only like a few red dragons from level 14. If for some reason level 14 was go time, then, by the time you walk all the way to Hawk's Nest and all that and just get a couple of fights. So maybe he's just hoping. Let's just get it over with right here. There's Axe Knights in the zone as well, so.
Oh, that could be low-key a good grind spot.
So far, we still don't have Rainbow Drop marked off for Asmati. Maybe it's like just en route to
yeah,
Sharlock.
he just got the token.
Yeah, so maybe it's en route to Sharlock, so he's not like in a hurry to like go track it down right now. You know what I mean?
Nice. And so just to pick up on Smashy, Smashy is honestly not super far behind. Like when I say that, I'm saying I think it's perfectly reasonable that Smashy could finish within 10 minutes of the other runners, which is just like 1 or 2 Sharlock fails away.
Yeah, that's true. There's always Sharlock fails. So he's just now getting the coordinates, but that's going to lead him to the only item that he needs to also be in grind and go, right? So he's already upgraded to, well, he's got 2 of the quest items and he's got the Urgix gear. So now he's got the coordinates. So I agree with you. I mean, it's the experience lead is not that far behind. He's got, like you said, probably 5 or 10 minutes of homework left to do to track down the last item. And yeah, considering that he didn't get any Metal Slime victory at the beginning and, didn't get keys relatively quickly, he's hanging in there.
Yeah, strong runners find their way to work with whatever the game or the RNG gives them. So it's good to acknowledge that. It's not that Smashy has had a poor race, it's just that RNG did not favor, and that's the nature of Randomizer, right?
Yeah, to me it makes it equivalent to a lot of sports contests where, maybe you feel like one team is better than the other, but on any given Sunday, like, you don't know who's going to win, the ball bounces a certain way, whatever factors in, and maybe a team wins only 60% of the time or something. So
Right.
it's whereas if you're doing a race of a game that's like a vanilla game where the runners have the route exactly mapped out and all that, sometimes for some games the better runner is just always going to win, So that's what makes randomizers pretty fun to race.
Fun to watch. Sometimes
can be painful to race. I agree.
All right, let's take a look at level 14 here. Because I know we're already at Death Necklace territory, so that's pretty hot.
So Mescard has MP in the bank, and he's at an inn, which means I think he's going for a dive here.
Yeah, so they've got to be at least at 80 attack power, or 80 strength. So with the Death Necklace, you're at 132 attack power. That's 8 to 16. That's 12 on average. You got almost 13 heal mores. Yeah. It seems decent.
Yeah, we saw that the agility was good, right? So you could probably count on running from every monster, no problem, right?
13 heal mores definitely have something
Someone
to spare.
said 86 strength at level 14, which means that there's actually quite a bit of wiggle room in the stats here. You could burn several heal mores if that's the case.
Even if you didn't have the Death Necklace.
This card is going to try run strats from Red Dragons instead of fighting through. So we'll see if he actually gets away from this one. He's going to have to burn one here. Doesn't seem too concerned though. Yeah, so few heal mores to spare here. No problem.
Yeah, so it's a very fun, in quotation marks, first zone of Sharlock, so anything can happen.
So with 86, yeah, you're looking at 128 with the sword in the ring, right? And so if you did go with Death Necklace strats, you'd be talking about 138.
Yeah, that'd be 14 damage on average. That's all the math you need to know.
Yep. Typically, you're going to want about 80 MP going into that fight, and he has 100 remaining. So a couple of more heal mores he could burn in theory. You also have to be aware that you got to fight a mini boss, and you have to fight DL1. So you don't want to be cutting it too thin, but yeah, right now Mescard's looking pretty good. There's Armored Knights in this zone. Gets away from this one first try.
Yeah, so I haven't seen any Sharlock monsters that have nasty abilities, so I wouldn't be super worried about the spike tile, but of course, if it's a red dragon, you may have to burn an extra heal more or your herbs or something.
Smashy going for the upgrade here to the Staff of Rain, which puts him into Grind and Go as well. We have the token marked off for him, so stones, token, and staff. That's what the old man needs. So he is ready to grind. Osmati makes his way into Sharlock while Mescard is on the second zone. So yeah, just a couple of minutes apart between those two. Very nice race between the two.
Yeah, and there's red dragons in the second zone as well.
Bottom zone now for Mescard, and he's about to make his way to the bottom floor. There it is. And no need to go to the treasury. Takes the left turn to move on the outer path all the way around towards the Dragon Lord. Gonna encounter lots of relatively weak enemies. Doesn't seem to be repelling. He could be repelling some of those monsters with that silver shield, but
yeah, but again, there's not too much to worry about, and if you fail to run, they're just gonna hit you for like 5 damage. So
yeah,
I think he just wants to reserve an extra MP for a heal. He has 4 spare MP.
Yep. Sometimes you want to throw the sleep spell on the Stone Man if that's the mini boss. Yeah, there's good reasons to have a little extra.
Yeah, I personally would go for Repel, but just because it's the potential to be quicker.
Axe Knight on the tile, the weakest of the enemies. That's going to be 3-shottable almost always. Not taking much damage on the counterattack. Down it goes. He could heal, or he could use an herb here. Doesn't have the heal spell. Interesting. No heal, no herb.
Game.
Gotta use the herbs.
Right, so no death necklace use before the fight. You can use it in the fight. You don't get the attack bonus until DL2, but it's an interesting meta.
Yeah, what's nice about that is if you use it and the Dragon Lord happens to cast like Stop Spell or something, then it's like, you know, you get more HP potentially going into the final fight than you would have.
Yeah, I think the logic is that it's easier to finish DL1 with more than 96 HP to try and get that
right
opening double.
Yep.
But Nescard's not
down
concerned
it
with
goes.
that.
Yep,
He
doesn't
realizes
even
it's
use
gonna go.
herb strats here. He's going to go into the fight and get ambushed. Might have to heal immediately. But
Yeah,
still
double ambush,
should be
actually.
okay with the numbers. There's not a lot of HP here, though, so look out for potential situation. Oh, wait a minute. I think I read that wrong. So let's see. When he heals, there
That's
could be
sneaky.
some double healing potential here. It's not a lock, but, you know, he's definitely got a pretty good advantage.
I mean, it's as much of a lock as it's going to be. Yeah, I wonder what's going through Asmati's game. You got a big race. You're in the last floor, Charlock. No one's finished yet.
Yep, sub
You
hour.
killed 2 metal slimes. You got to be feeling good. But hey, I feel like obliged to acknowledge DK 9146 just finished in first place with a time of 59:15. So get your GGs for DK.
Nice.
Very
Sub
strong
hour
run.
hype. Good job for DK. 30 seconds into the future, according to Nescardnality's timer.
Right, so I guess I'll do that on a bit of a delay then.
We can see the future. Alright, Asmati's starting his DL1 fight. Nescardnality a few hits away here from victory on the DL2. He's got, after this heal more here, he has 3 more in the bank, which means he has about 5 more attacks to work with. As long as he doesn't have to like double heal a couple of times, which would be really bad luck. Yeah, so here's a 95. He had a bad heal, but the Fire Breath was only the minimum 42, so he didn't have to double heal there, but it was possible. It can happen in these spots.
Sure can. And hey, just barely we have simultaneous Dragon Lords, so that's pretty hot.
And he is down to his last attack. I'm assuming this is going to do it, but yeah,
Wow.
only,
He must have
only
rolled
9.
Must have rolled terribly. I saw a lot of 12s, and we said his
Yeah.
average is 14.
Well, that's what I was saying. If you get a couple of double heals, all of a sudden your numbers aren't looking too good. So yeah, he must have rolled below average, and maybe the Dragon Lord was on the high end of HP. But Nescardnality gets it done. Very nice.
Nescard finishes second with 1 hour 26.
And Asmati Games working on his fight. I think he entered the fight with a little bit more MP, but I don't know 100% where he was there. Maybe 1 extra heal more or something.
Just want to point out I haven't seen an attack that's more than 14 for anyone.
That seems poor with 138 attack power. Wow.
There's a nice little... Well, actually, I'm assuming they have the Death Necklace on. Assuming.
Yeah, I haven't seen them heal up to, you know, beyond 100, so. And Smashy is on the grind. The Blue Dragon. And he should get it on this cycle. You just have to get to level 14, which is something like 5 or 6 more Blue Dragon victories, and he'll be there. Plenty of resources to work with there. Asmati with the heal and the fight and the heal and the fight and the heal and the fight.
Did actually have to do a double heal. Got poked for 49 a second time. Also, have not seen an attack for more than 14 yet.
Oh, he took a 49 physical because of the large shield?
Twice even.
Okay.
Oh man. So I think everything went okay. So we'll just have to see how it goes.
Yeah, there's a 12. Some low rolls.
Once again, game is impossible.
I think you already explained the math, which is that they have 138 attack power which means you subtract 100, you have 38, and then you divide by 2 and divide by 2 again. The range is 9 to 19. And we were seeing a lot of 9s, 10s, 11s, 12s, so not great, but Asmati is victorious here.
Yeah, so even with the double heal more, even with the low rolls, still had magic left over. And Asmati finishes in 3rd place with 102.27. GG.
All right. Very nice. We'll see if Asmati wants to hop in and join us for words. And there he is.
Oh boy.
GG.
I wonder what you're going to ask me about.
Well, what I can say is we were talking about how in Dragon Warrior 4 on the Famicom, you can throw fairy water at metal slimes, but you can't in this game. But you can
Why
crit them
bother?
for about 16 damage, which is the same thing.
Jesus. I can't believe that happened.
Well, I mean, you saw them northwest of start, just, one zone over, right? And it looked like you were actually walking around looking for them, at least on the second one.
I was looking for Magidrakes, because I had the fairy waters, and like, I can kill a Magidrake with this for a whopping 20 experience. It's gonna be amazing. I'm gonna be way ahead. And then like, oh, metal slime. It's cute. I think I'll stay here.
Yeah, the Drakima was over there and everything, yeah.
Oh,
Metal
Drakima,
Slime's
yeah.
worth more, though. A metal slime's worth more than a Drakima.
Sure is.
The current version of Randomizer.
Yeah, that was some silly stuff. It was a fun scene, though.
Yeah, I mean, we were memeing around that you never actually did learn the heal spell, which is always humorous.
Fortunately, it wasn't one of those really low MP seeds where it's like brutal to have to do heal more all the time. I mean, we've seen a lot of them where you have 10 or 15 or 20 MP for like a long time, but that wasn't the case this time. You guys were good to go. Once you got hurt more at level 7, it was clear sailing.
Yeah, it was a interesting map in that I believe the only key available was to go to Remolder, or was there one someplace else?
That's the only place we saw it.
Okay.
Well, yeah,
so,
there was one locked up in Garenham.
That doesn't count, though. Yeah, so you had to go to Remolder to get the keys to unlock everything, and you had to dive Grave again to the bottom to get either the stones or whatever was down there.
Yeah,
we're actually looking at Nestcard's map on his stream there, so kind of pointing out the same things as you're saying, I think.
Yeah, no, that was...
I think he had keys before you, which was a big factor between the two of you. When we had him starting on, he filled in on the restream halfway through for somebody that dropped their internet or whatever, and when he was on, he had already gotten keys, and you still were looking for Imaldar, so that was a factor there.
But yeah, you were pretty much neck and neck right until the end. Just got the quest items just like a hair bit faster and was able to just, pull ahead that 1 or 2 minutes, right? So
yeah, luckily the time difference on that hilarious cast of Return is not the difference, because that was only about a minute, not 2 minutes. I don't know.
Was that after you beat the Red Dragon?
No. I went to Cole to heal up and cast Repel to go into Charlock, and I cast Return by accident, so I had to walk over again.
Yeah, before your final dive.
Yeah.
That's always fun.
It was good times.
Yeah, I don't think that made the difference, but that must be infuriating.
It was, I was like, oh no. Whoops. Yeah, no, it was a fun seed. Nothing was particularly dangerous except for, I think, the Demon Knights had DL2.
Right.
I think Smashy found the Drakima had DL2. He
I saw that too.
He death warped out of somewhere by trying to put the fighter's ring on to let it, breathe fire on him, and then it just kept running away. It was awesome.
Yeah, I was tempted to grab the silver shield, and I didn't. And then I almost paid for it, because I had very low defense at the end. And
yeah, you got smacked for 49 twice. That was...
Yeah.
I saw you keeping at 50.
Yeah, I was like, am I safe? I'm probably safe. It's very high percentage DL2 breath anyway, so he's probably not going to swing. And if he did, he'd have to max it.
Based on my rough understanding of your stats, I'm guessing 49 was the maximum. I was even surprised to see that.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's scary. But I had a couple extra heal mores to spare, so I was fine. Not worried about that.
Yeah, you had a cleaner dive, I think. Nestcard was down to his last attack because he had some red dragons in Charlock that wouldn't let him go, so he did have to burn a few on the way down, but...
Yeah, I figured I was gonna swing through reds if I hit them going down. And I swung through that AK on the first floor. I was really curious to see what they had, since it was the first one I'd seen in the seed.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I was all excited. I'm like, oh, I can sell the cursed belt for fairy waters early. It's gonna be this real cool, neat advantage thing. And nope. Oh well.
But you thought of it, and that's what counts.
Is so much easier. Just kill the metal slimes.
Just whack a metal slime, and then
easier.
whack another one.
Yeah. I was thinking in the beginning that someone might sell the 2 herbs to buy 3 torches, but nobody.
I sold an herb to buy 1 torch.
Oh, did you? Okay, I missed that then. Kudos.
I wound up using the torch in the tablet cave instead of as a weapon, because that was going to save me like 2 minutes of bonking.
Yeah, that's right. The tablet cave was pretty nearby.
Yeah, because we had ghosts and drakeys right there, so I was like, okay, I can grind small things. There's not like a terrible zone 1 or something. Yeah.
Smashy, by the way, is on the mini boss. He has 106 MP, so I think about the same amount of resources as you had, maybe going into the DL2 fight.
Mm-hmm.
And now that we've sufficiently reached the future, Beta Strep finished in 4th place with 108.23.
Nice game.
The future, Mr. Holmes?
The future.
What's the correct miles per hour we need to reach that? I forget.
It's 1.21 gigawatts.
No, I'm thinking Back to the Future.
Well, yeah, and we need to go 88 miles an hour.
Great, that's the one.
Because infinity symbols sideways. Probably.
Yeah, it looks like Smashy's in good shape.
Well, yeah, he already rolled a 17, which is higher than anything I saw on your end, so...
Yep. Because I was 4. Yeah, we were all 14. 14 was like, hello, here's 27 attack power. Enjoy. Bye. Go fight the Dragon Lord now.
Yeah, I'm kind of pleased. Like this, we were saying that despite Smashy having poor exploration RNG and metal slime RNG, we still said he's going to be within 10 minutes, and that looks very much like it's going to be the case.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm not sure what else to ask about this seed because it seemed just
very straightforward.
I mean, it's straightforward when you have hurt more, and you had pretty good stats, so there's no challenge there. We didn't see any Charlock enemies that had sleep or anything like that, so nothing to watch out for there. So I don't know. There was a long count, but I think everyone just rescued the princess.
It was on the second continent, anyways.
Right. So nobody tried to get too crazy with that, counting across coordinates and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the Guardians were already beatable, so yeah, I don't know. It was just a matter of how fast could you keep track of where you were on the map and find all the locations, dive through the caves. Yep.
Yeah, but sometimes that's a fun thing too. We get weird grindy seeds that last 3 hours. We get quick seeds that last an hour, and it's all about optimization.
Oh, Smashy, thank you for doing that. A man after my own heart casting the Swagmore. Did not work.
Good effort. We appreciate it. Is he in trouble?
No.
Oh, okay.
Goes for it again.
Purely memes.
I wasn't counting.
Well, all I know is he got pretty high rolls.
Yeah. Wow, that's another 17. Goodness.
Game is
16. Wow. Kind of swing that can kill a metal slime.
Easy games.
So yeah, just to keep up to date, Angel FM finished in 5th with 109.12. And Smashy coming up here is going to finish in 6th place.
Yeah, well, Smashy wants to join us here, but unfortunately we have lost Stags' stream a long time ago. So, we're going to be able to wrap this show up pretty early because everyone on stream is finishing up now with Smashy's victory there.
It's time for round 2.
Stevie wants to join us for a few minutes here.
All right, well, GG, gentlemen. And thanks for the restream, everybody that was involved.
Oh yeah,
Likewise.
GG, very
And
nice race. All right, that was Osmighty Games. And yeah, let's see if Smashy pops in. He often does. Thanks everybody out there on Speed Gaming 3 for watching tonight. It's been fun. Nice, quick, easy seed tonight. Running weeklies. Every Wednesday we have non-standard flags. They switch it up every week, usually at 10 p.m. Eastern. And 8 p.m. Eastern, we've been doing every Sunday night these standard flags leading into our summer tournament within the next couple of months. I'm sure there are some links for Discord that you guys could all join if you're interested. Thanks, of course, to Camion Renikai, our tracker. Is Mr. Holmes any word if Smashy's going to say what's going on?
Not that I could see. I can try and ask. I'm just visualizing all the food I'm going to eat, so I'm slightly distracted.
Yummy. I see Smashy's in chat. Smashy, do you have access to hop into Discord or hop into the booth? Yeah, last location, Rimaldar, he's saying in chat, which is always pretty brutal when there are no other ways to get keys in the seed. And if potentially you could have gotten to Rimaldar a lot sooner, like if you go east and it was west or whatever, then not much you can do about that. That's all Smashy has to say. Last location, Rimaldar. Yeah, I mean, the seed is pretty straightforward, generally speaking. There wasn't a lot to discuss about it. So what do you think, Mr. Holmes? Any more thoughts about this one?
I think the only thing that could have made this more interesting was if they had to grind a bit longer rather than getting that 27 power level, just because the grinds weren't super great. But I guess it would have probably just been fighting blue dragons for like 5 or 10 more minutes. So, I mean,
Yeah,
I'm not complaining.
In the beginning, when there were, like Osmighty Games was saying, when there were a few interesting ways of maybe selling your cursed belt and buying fairy waters and, you know, trading in herbs and different things, trying to find ways to defeat the next level of monster when the power wasn't coming for the first few levels. I mean, that would have been interesting if that lasted a little longer. But yeah, as it turned out, they got out of jail, and then 1 or 2 levels after that, they get heal more and hurt more. And the stats were there to be able to survive long treks. You know, the HP came, the MP was there. So yeah, after that, they just all executed a nice race, just finding all the locations, towns and caves, and rounding up the items. It was a fairly early go time as well, so not a lot of end game grinding to be done. And yeah, pretty good exhibition of what standard flags can be like in some of the easier cases.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, Smashy noting that he did see some metal slimes around, and wouldn't be surprised if somebody got an early metal slime. So yeah, sometimes when you do see them close to home, you're like, oh man, what's happening? Certainly a factor tonight, but yeah, Smashy was able to, you know, come in with a pretty respectable finish, even though, you know, no early experience leaps and no early keys for Smashy. Those were his 2 major challenges, but still 1 hour 11 minutes, pretty decent showing.
Yeah, I cannot fault a single thing that Smashy did. Honestly, that's just the way it goes sometimes. I've been on both ends of it.
Cool. That's going to wrap it up, guys. Everybody watching, thanks for joining us tonight. It's been fun. Make sure you come back same time, same place for more standard flags action Sundays, 8 p.m. Eastern time for the near future. Got a bunch of links there to follow our runners and our broadcasters. Definitely make sure to follow all the appropriate people. The streams are generally quite fun to pop in on and say hi. Check out the Discord if you haven't already, and start participating in races and learning more about the game and that sort of thing. Thanks to our restreamer here on SpeedGaming 3, our tracker is Kameon Renakai. Great job as always. And our awesome co-commentator, Mr. Holmes. Thanks for joining. Have a good rest of your night, everybody, and see you next time.